We are anonymous.
Welcome, citizens of the United States of America. This is Anonymous. As it seems, after this coronavirus outbreak and what's been going on in the world, as we know it, this also leads to other problems we are about to face. And that problem is surveillance. With the government on extreme lookouts due to the pandemic, it is only right to know how to protect yourself against foreign, domestic, and criminal hackers from surveillance. I think it is necessary to spread a little knowledge to the citizens of the world in the United States of America on how to protect themselves. And maybe you too can also become anonymous. So let's get started.
I am going to leave Tor out of the equation, for the fact that there is other routines we can use as alternatives to Google. DuckDuckGo is a privacy browser that blocks Google and all types of data mining. Browser security is one problem we face when it comes to privacy and spying eyes. VMs and VPNs are also good ways for anonymous browser protection. Best way to use is to use DuckDuckGo on a virtual machine. Not only will this protect you against hackers, but if your computer was to get infected by a Trojan virus or any type of virus, your main computer would be safe.
Examples of virtual machine managers are VirtualBox and VMware. Imagine your computer is using OS X. In your computer, you can install VirtualBox. With VirtualBox, you can create two virtual machines, one with Windows 8 and another one with Windows XP. In the end, you would then be able to use these two virtual machines as if they were real computers.
Is short for Virtual Private Network. Think of your home network or your office network as private networks. Through a VPN connection, your computer, tablet, or smartphone is able to securely connect with others on the internet as if they were part of the same private network. In the olden days, VPN was used by corporate employees to access their offices while remote, when they needed to access sensitive information in a secure way. In time, VPN technology became available for regular internet users. It helps people from all over the world connect in a secure way. VPN allows you to have your connection encrypted and secure, to become anonymous online, and to keep your traffic data private and safe from hackers, government censorship, and other dangers of the internet. VPN also helps you get access to blocked content. Because of geolocation, some online content, such as videos, music files, news, search engines, and so on, may be unavailable from certain countries and locations. Using a VPN service allows you to log into a server located in a place from where the content is available, and voila, you have access to previously blocked content. This is especially significant for those who live in countries where the government is restrictive and censors online content and information from the outside world. VPN technology helps people in these countries get vital information and talk to the world, thus making their problems visible to the international community.
As we know, police can use surveillance all the time, and some of those surveillance techniques are facial recognition. It has been proven. With facial recognition, it uses technology to see if you have a warrant, or simply just to look up your information in the database. Not only is this a way for them to track you, but anytime they have picture of your face at any location, they can look it up from a government database and see who you are. Yandex is also known to be a Russian browser that contains a feather for facial recognition. As we also know, your license plate is part of your identity. They have what is called automatic license plate reader to scan city to see who they are. As anonymous, privacy is our sole purpose, and here is how you can prevent this. Stealth plates has been proven to be effective in masking identity from stalkers and more. And fair lighting at night also blocks CCTV cameras. Medical mask and eyeglasses or with hoods are used to dodge facial recognition software, and are really effective.
software that a lot of these devices use is capable of capturing things like your text messages, the numbers you're calling and receiving calls from. We know for sure they're getting people's location.
Here's how it works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers. A Stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower. Phones connect to the Stingray, and police can access a range of personal information. But they don't just get intel on one phone. Every phone nearby is forced to divert to the Stingray. Calls are passed on to a real cell tower. Data scooped up stays with police.
When you ask them why they're using it, they'll say, well, we're targeting certain individuals, but the nature of the technology is so expansive that you cannot use this without countless innocent people having their data captured as well.
As some of us know, the police and government use these devices known as SMS Catchers and also known as Stingrays. I know so little about them, yet we know just enough to negate them. As we know, one tactic is using Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi doesn't use cell towers or data, they are on a network. Using VPN encrypted messaging and other forms of encryption can possibly negate this. Use these tips that is given in the pictures and this will help you from spying eyes. It has been known and done that criminals and federal agencies have hacked into camera and microphones. This is a major breach into your privacy for a person who is innocent. To negate this is pretty simple. This is how you become ultimately anonymous.
A hand on you or your wallet.
Excuse me, is there a Macy's in this mall, do you know?
No Macy's.
Watch closely. This woman is about to get ripped off.
Thanks, appreciate it.
In a matter of seconds, this thief effortlessly pickpockets 4 unsuspecting shoppers without ever laying a finger on their purses or wallets.
Excuse me, sorry.
What if I told you he stole one of your credit cards?
I wouldn't believe you.
Take out your MasterCard. Does that MasterCard end in the numbers 2594?
Yes, 2594.
Expires 0413?
That's right.
He just stole that credit card information from you.
How did you do that?
All it takes is this simple move.
All I have to do is get right about there, and I can pick off your card number.
It is pretty simple. You will need a RF blocker. RF stands for radio frequency. Criminals and possibly federal agents know how to use these RF readers to gather information from you.
Metadata is any data that doesn't directly expose any sensitive information, but can be used to expose information about us. For example, libraries use metadata to sort books by title, author, and publishing information. Having 2 of any of these 3 things is enough information to find that book, open it up, and view the contents. This is very similar to our digital lives, where even though your messages may be encrypted, there could be metadata collected like who's talking to who, at what time, for how long. All things that can be used to figure out what is being said.
For this you will need a EXIF Scrambler, which you can find in the App Store. This will take metadata off your photos when you share photos. Your data is very important to us. And we fail to realize the data we store, like phone numbers, addresses, and names, can be used against us on our daily life against attackers. Common sense like backing up files using a USB drive from a computer and phone, it's a good way to protect yourself if your phone or device it happened to get compromised. If you do not have a USB, I recommend using SpiderOak. SpiderOak is the best cloud storage you can use in the market, and the owners do not see your data and they do not give it to the police. I'm going to give you some knowledge on a thing called bait and switch. It is also known as a scam term, but it can also be used as security against hackers and surveillance. Bait and switch is when you lead an attacker in the wrong direction by giving false information to throw them off track. And good example of bait and switch is that we are going to meet somebody, conduct something private, you give out fake locations, names, and destinations to where you will meet to throw your attacker off. Also, another good example is burner phones. burner phones is a phone that is throwing away after a one-time use, and this can be also used as a bait and switch tactic. Never give out detailed real information or you will give yourself up. Another form of bait and switch is called a botnet. A botnet is when you hack into multiple networks and computers to control a computer system to accomplish a task, virtually making you not traceable to most degrees. Botnet is also a good way to make people think you are someone else. This is how you stay anonymous. When it comes to security, it all comes down to one thing: to becoming anonymous. And that is not using technology at all. The lack of technology is the best defense. Virtually you cannot be traced when you take the battery out of a phone, and this has been proven to be effective considering the government has tried to make newer phones impossible to take the battery out of. When conducting important scenarios, it is important to never bring a device, and if you do, it is important to use public Wi-Fi. Connect to a VPN using a Tor browser using Kali Linux. And when traveling, you take the battery out. This is in no debate. This is something you must do to stay undetected. In today's days and age, we must keep our privacy safe from spying eyes, not just from the government but from criminals. I am not responsibility for anyone who takes this information in this video and uses it illegal. Everything I've told you is for educational purposes only and is free to look up on the clear web. This is anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.